Hello, welcome guys once again. It's Oyosa, and in this video we just did the introduction before. We're going to be explaining how to edit photos. You can see some photos before and the after. This after a black and white picture. See this picture, we're able to even change the ground color. We're able to light up this picture, and we're able to do a basic edit. And then there's some also edits, and also we're able to get one effect on this picture. So stay tuned, and this is what you're going to be getting even as we enter into our video for today. The video is going to be separated into different parts, so this is just one part. I think 2 edits are going to be in this part, so watch out for the rest. Thank you. Okay, welcome back once again. So we are going to learn how to import. So firstly, you just click import, and then it brings out a whole lot of folders, and then you can easily navigate quickly to where you want your pictures to be. So if I open this Lemi folder, you see it has all these pictures there, so you can mark and select all photos, and then you can just click the import button and it will add them straight to your catalog. Now mine is it's not looking as yours would look because I've already imported them, so it's just trying to tell me it has imported them. But if I go to a bigger folder like me, you see it's all there, so I can select all photos and then it marks everything. You see this one it's already in my catalog, so I can't select it again. That's exactly what's happening there. But I'm just going to work with I can't be editing 349 pictures obviously, so let's just work with Lemi. So wondering why I have so much photo of myself? Well, like I said, that is self-love. But anyways, let's continue. So we've already, you just click import in your own case, but me, I've already imported, so I'm going to click cancel. So it will take you to this, and from here, I like to move straight up to my develop panel. I don't bother myself keywording my pictures. You can go into that definitely. This is just for a tutorial, so let's just move on straight up to develop. So now develop, you see we have this picture here. There's a whole lot we can do. We can zoom to see so much more and know what we are working with. And we can crop. So we can do a crop. So let's just crop this a bit, and that makes more sense to me. You can also use default crops, like you can choose what size you want. You can use a 1:1 for Instagram, that is a square, and your crop will be basically just fits into that 1:1 space. So let's work with this. Let's work with this. I'm just going to use some photography effects to try and keep my face in the right place. Okay, so that looks good. So you click done and it applies the crop, which is very, very useful and very, very nice. So you can always do that. You can always also clear your crop. So you just go back to as shots, and then that becomes the default, or that takes it back to default. So that makes sense. You click done. But let's just go back and do custom, so I can drag it and do exactly what I want to my picture. So I'm going to extend this a bit. I'm going to extend this a bit so we'll have more access. Sorry, it's locked at 1:1. Okay, so let's take it to original. That's worked. So unlock it, and then there you have that. So this is the crop I want to use. So I'm just going to click done, and that makes sense to me. So now we can edit and heal the face. So we're going to be using this tool right here, the spot remover tool, and we can change a whole lot of settings. So firstly, we can zoom in on our image. We can zoom in on our image so we get to see it clearly. Now you notice scrolling up and down can reduce the size of the brush, so you don't need to always start running here and there to reduce the size of the brush. So I'm using the two-finger scroll on MacBook as usual. So it makes that very easy for me. You can drag this to edit the picture, to take the picture to a better location so you can see it properly. You can continue zooming in as much as you want. So these are all things you can easily do. So now watch this. It automatically samples for you, unlike Photoshop, and you can move this around. So you see how nice that is. So you can actually move that around. So I'm going to reduce the size so we get better effects or better results. So that's just going to clear all that, and we'll have a little bit here. We have here. So that goes. So I'm just going to adjust a bit over here. So I'm going to remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this. You see sampling somewhere wrong, so I'll take it to somewhere right. So you can always do that. Just always remember you can always do that in case it samples somewhere that's wrong, or rather somewhere that is not smooth. So I think I'm satisfied. I'm just gonna take this somewhere else, and then I like what I see there. This is good. So let's take the face down a bit. Okay, so a little bit smaller, 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 smaller. So I'm just basically trying to get as much corrected as you would, and hoping you get a nice effect at the end of the day. So this makes sense. I like what I see. So I'm just going to take fit to go back to my original image, and then you see all the corrected spots. So I can just leave the tool, and then you see the face is all looking all nice now. So let's go over some things. We also have red eye remover tool. You have graduated filter, you have a radial filter, and then you have your adjustment brush. Now I mostly use this spot remover and the adjustment brush tool and the crop tool. So these other three tools I've not really seen to use them because of my picture. So what you can do for your adjustment brush tool is you can increase the size, so you can just edit a single part of a picture. Like watch this, just the eyes is where I want to work on. You see it has added an effect to the eyes, and I can change anything I want. You notice the eye is getting redder and pinker. It is not affecting anywhere else in the picture, but simply just the eyes. So that is the function of the adjustment brush. So we are going to just remove that because I'm not going to use it. I like the picture the way it is. So that's how you do that. So let's just go back to norms. So we're going to be editing this picture. So we are working in it in color. You can always switch to black and white for the treatment here. So that's basically how it works. Profile, give it a color. So temperature, if your picture is too cold or too blue, you can increase it to this side to make it warmer. If it's too hot, you can make it this way to be cooler. So that's basically how that effect works. Then we have a tint. You can apply tint to your picture. So you have this tinted feel. It comes out nice in some pictures, and some pictures you don't want to overdo it. This picture, I just like the way the balance is, so I'm not going to be playing with this a bit. So let's move on. Exposure, just like your camera exposure, brightens or darkens. And we'll leave it at 0. Then contrast. This is contrast of, let me say, light versus dark. A different type of contrast in photography. So this is increasing the contrast against the light versus dark. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that. Let me say 26, looks good. Highlights. Now a lovely feature I like about highlights is you can hold down alternate to see exactly if you have any detail you are losing, and you can also hold it down for shadows to see if you have any detail you are losing. And you might see some in yours, but I'm not seeing mine in mine, so I think I'll just leave it where it is. Highlights, let's just add a little bit of highlights. That's a whole lot though. So let's do 50. 50 looks good. So shadows, let's take it down so the hair looks darker. Minus 50 looks good. So you can also look at the whites and then the blacks. So you can always work on that. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of the whites to brighten the picture up, and then the blacks, you know, can make it very dark if you want. Just depending on the effect you are looking for. There's a whole lot you can do with Lightroom. So the texture of the picture. Now watch this. You see, it makes the picture look more. It has this grunge effect, this rustic effect, and then you can also make it buttery smooth, of which we don't want that. I don't like that. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of texture. I prefer using texture to clarity. Let me just show you without texture what clarity can do. Let's see clarity. So you see, it's almost a similar effect, but then I prefer using texture instead of using clarity. So I just add some texture to the picture, and the haze, watch what this does. It's remove fog or sharpens the picture. So we don't want to overdo it. You can also use it for some picture, maybe a forest photography. You want to add this hazy effect. Very, very totally cool for that. So vibrance, obviously the redness of the picture, make it very red, or just kill the warmth of the picture. So we're going to leave that at 0. I like what I have already. So saturation, you know, no color, and then very vibrant and vivid colors. So let's leave that at 0. I like what I see already. There's no need doing too much of that. So tone curve, also very important. Now you can edit it manually here, or you can use this curve to edit it. I prefer using the curve. So what I like doing is giving it, you see, as I'm moving the curve, the effect is happening live. So I just give it a little bit. This picture is basically already where I want it. So I can do something to increase the brights. The lights is increasing, and there you have it. So you can also do what you want with the highlights and every other thing. So I'm just going to take this down a bit. I'm going to take this up a bit because the picture is basically already looking good. So now point curve, linear, you can change it to whatever you want, medium contrast, strong contrast. You can try out that, what that means, or what I'll give you. Now HSL, which is very, HSL means hue, saturation, luminance. So HSL and color, very, very important. Now you can reduce the red in a picture or change the tone of the red in a picture, not like reduce it. So this, you see, it's making my lips and my forehead, which are closer to red, very red or very pinkish. So now you can take it, you see, it makes it very yellowy. So that's what you can achieve with that. I already like my picture, so we can just do that. And orange, that's my face, obviously. You know, the human skin tone is usually orange, so you can change that, but I don't know why you want to do that. So I think it's better we leave that at 0. Yellows, you can take the yellows towards red or towards green. So that is also another thing you can look forward to. So that's just basically it. You can edit your greens and make it more greener or more lemon. When you snap a picture in a field of grass, you will enjoy this effect a whole lot. So you should look forward to editing pictures like that. Aqua, which is a kind of blue or a teal color. So just want to work with that a bit. That your blues, purple, everything just works. So notice my suit has a purple tint on it. So the suit is normally gray, but it's because the condition is time, so I can remove that by taking it the way down. So my suit is exactly gray now, and I actually like that. So let's just take that as well. So you can also go to your saturation and say, okay, those colors you have edited, you want to do their saturation. So if you want to reduce the saturation of the reds in your picture, you can obviously do that. So it's like muting it or making it very, very red. I don't want that, so I'm just going to leave it at the zeros. That magenta we worked on, or rather the purple we worked on. You see, I can go further by making it very much more gray, and see how gray this looks. So this was where we came from, and we can take it all the way to gray. So let's leave it at that. I like that gray. So that's HSL, the HSL panel, very very important panel. Then split toning is where you can let me show you something you can do. You can put this color and then reduce it to a level you want. I like using this to add warmth to my black and white pictures. So some black and white pictures can be so very mute. So I can just add a little bit of warmth. Can choose a reddish color and then just drag this down. So the picture has that warmth to it. If you feel, you can do blue, whatever color you want. But let's just cancel this. We are not going to be adding this effect. So we're just going to undo that and let the picture be as it was. So those are things you can work on. You can also work on the shadows if you feel like. That will look totally good. So let's just do our purple shift back again. I'm just undoing. So our purple shift, undo purple shift. So I'm going to just redo that. So I redid the purple shift. So it gives me my gray color back. So that's more like it. Then detail. This can sharpen your picture. So let's zoom and you see exactly what is happening. So sharpening, see it's making the picture very sharp or very blurred. So we can just give it some little bit of sharpness. What I like doing is basically not adding any because the picture is already sharp. Then noise reduction, if the picture is noisy, you can, if the picture is noisy, you can decide to do some effects on your own. So let's see. You see how that is reducing the noise and making the picture all buttery and all that. That's actually going overkill. So what I like doing myself is reduce the noise, natural noise in the picture, and then later add some software noise to the picture that makes it looks all good and nice. So I like this amount of reduction. We don't really want to touch the color, but I hardly usually do that. So just go all the way. Then lens correction, if you have some corrections you want to do maybe in the photograph you use, you can always do this here. So you can remove chromatic aberration. You can enable profile correction, so you can edit all this vignetting, distortion, and the others. So this will always work when you have your cameras very well supported in the software. So transform is to basically rotate, arrange, or do whatever you want to do with the picture. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to reduce this my noise reduction a bit. The picture looks too soft to me. So that we should get some of the details back. So we'll just go ahead and play with this a bit. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to take this down. So we have some details too. I don't just want to lose all the details with all that blur. We need as much details as we want in the picture. So I like that. I prefer that to what I had before. So now effects, I like adding some vignetting. So if you add towards this direction, you're adding dark. If you're adding towards this direction, you're adding white vignettes. So just a little bit so the central focus is more aware. So I like using that vignetting effect, then adding the grain, like I said, the noise to my picture. Watch how much this can do. So it had this roughness to the picture. So I'm just going to add a little bit of it, just to give the picture that natural feel of photography. So you can edit the size, the roughness of all that, and then lastly, calibration. So you can calibrate your shadows. Not much of effect done there. You can calibrate your hues and just a whole lot. After doing so much up there, there might be very little you want to do here. So that's basically it. Mostly when you've worked with your HSL panel, coming down to calibration, maybe we just do some fine tuning for the effects you want. So that is one picture. We've gone over the tools and also you basically know what it can do. So let me just go ahead and edit these other pictures very fast and very quickly. What you can also do is use presets, and I have a lot of them I mentioned before. So it's going to cancel all the things we have been doing since. So just watch this and effects. It depends on what you are going for. This is another effect. This is another effect. This is another effect. So these are just one-click effects. You just click it once, and it automatically applies all the edits to the picture, without you needing to do anything. So presets make your photography or your photo editing flow go very fast. So you can always get them to buy on the developer's website. You can create yours, or a lovely place you can get some is Creative Markets, Envato Elements. You can get some of that, all there. So you can see there's a whole lot of effects. I can do basically almost anything I want, and just clicking on any of this is going to give me that effect I want. So let's look at another picture. So let's move on to the next picture. So this picture we already edited it before. So we're just gonna do that again simply. So I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna use my tool to get some form of um, arrangement here. I'm just trying to remove all these bad shadows in the forehead region, so it looks more clean and neat. Is because the picture was taken in a very cloudy condition, so it had a whole lot of issues. Let's see what we have. So it's looking all bad and ugly, so we're just still gonna do some more work. Want to take this up. So let's look at what we have currently. So it's slowly fixing up the shadows that we have in the head. Remember, this is a fast subject picture, so might so we have that. So I'm just going to continue zooming in so that we get to see more of that. You can unclick and drag your picture down if you feel like, or if you need to. So select a bigger size and then come in here, take it here. Obviously that's not my face, so we're going to take it inside somewhere more workable. I can take another one, drag it to where I want, and then give it something more workable. This is as a result of what we have here. Okay, so I can bring another one that's, so I'm just going to click and drag it into where I want, and then give it some color, some nice hue, and not the best effect, I would say. If I was not on a tutorial, I'll definitely be more careful and get my best results, but I'm just trying to do this as fast as I can so we can edit all pictures right here in one video. So I'm going to drag this in and take it from here. So let's see. I'm going to correct one final bit, just some here, some here, some here, and some here, and I'll be good. I'm going to reduce the size a bit, it's too big. So this is what I want, and I'm going to be taking it from here. So that's corrected that. I'm going to increase this one a bit. So let me click it here first, put it where I want it, and can I see where that is sampling from? Why would you sample from there? So I'm bringing it into my face a bit, and then taking it to somewhere that I like. So I can increase the size if I want to give me the best effect I'll look for. So that makes sense to me. There are two orders, I guess. Two orders, yes. One is here, so I can create here and drag it all the way where I want it here. Then sample from somewhere clear. So that's good for me. And then I think one is left, I said here. So we're going to do just that. That's the last one. So I'm going to reduce the size a bit. It's too small. It's okay. So I drag it exactly where I want. Sample from somewhere dark. I take it to somewhere lovely. So I can adjust the size so it covers exactly where I want it to cover. And one last one. Let me just add one last one. Reduce. And I want to just lighten here a bit. So we are sampling from here. So that looks perfect. The foreheads, shadows have been fixed, and it all looks good to me. So these shots, firstly, we can just work on the exposure, increase it a bit. White balance, you can do it on auto or custom to customize, but let's leave it at shot. So we get some, it was a cloudy day, so I want to give it some more temperature so it looks as if there was some sunlight. Let's see, let's leave the tint at 0. We'll always be able to edit things like that. So contrast, you can give it more contrast so the picture comes out better. Highlights, definitely, we're gonna, okay. You see, if we increase the highlights, we are losing some details of this part. So I'm going to reduce the highlights so we can reclaim as much details as we want to reclaim from that picture. I'll definitely take this picture after editing here to Photoshop to maybe do a sky replacement, just fixing another sky because this is looking so white and so dull for the photograph. So those are things you can consider doing. You can also go far, but you don't want to go too much far in the shadows because you know the face is very shadowy and you don't want to do that. So what you can do is to do an adjustment brush and put it on the face. Let's reduce that so it's just affecting the face. I'm going to zoom in a bit here so we can see exactly what we are looking at. So I have that brush there. So I'm just going to increase the, you know, let's do some highlights first. Let's see how that works. And that's so that's my adjustment brush is a little bit too small. So I'm gonna create a bigger one. Yes, something like this. So we are gonna edit this as we like. So to just give this face that light up a bit, there is that little bit of lighting on the face. So you can see what it's doing. The effect is stronger at the center point. So you can see that's what that's doing. So you can see it's telling us where it's affecting, and that is the radius of the effect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo that and give it a bigger radius so it encompasses much of what I want it to encompass. So let's say that, and then reduce the exposure definitely. And now contrasts, we'll add a bit so that we don't lose some details. Highlights, now you can see what the highlight is doing. Shadows, see what that is doing. So we just want to retain some value out of the picture. Whites, Bring that up. Blacks, see, make it dark or whatever. So let's give it that -20, and I think I'm okay. We can defringe, can do some other settings, but I think I'm okay with what I have. So we can close that adjustment brush and then continue working on our picture. So the face is a bit brighter now. So we stopped at whites and blacks. So you can always work on that. I'm just gonna leave that there down at 0. Blacks, make it all the way dark, but we don't want that. But let's reclaim some black darkness, and I like that. So now let's just texture a little bit, just a little bit. 15 looks good. The haze, see what I can do. So the picture has some haze in it because of the cloudiness. So let's just do a +6. And now let's go on to the sweet part. I'm just going to ignore the split toning, the tone curve. So let's go into the hues. Now I can edit my orange in the picture. See what that is doing. Very lovely. But then obviously, you know, my face is also in the orange tone. So we just want to be very, very careful with that. So something like this look good. The reds, you can look at the reds are turning to orange or becoming very red. Those are the red pictures you are seeing there. Watch that. Became just depending on what you want. So I'm just going to take it somewhere here. Now the green for our grasses. See, I can make it muted, make it very green. Obviously, something cannot be that green in real life. So just want to make it as natural as possible too. So we look at the aqua colors. So there is very few of this color in the picture. So you see there's almost no effect. So take that there. Blues, we have very few blues in the picture. So you see there's almost no effect. And purple, not really. So no real effect. And then magenta, not really still. So no real effects. So I like that. The picture is a whole lot better. So you can do a noise reduction if you want, but I don't want to do that. I think I like my picture the way it is. There's some natural noise in there, and it's basically raining. You can see some raindrops. These are raindrops, 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 raindrops. I think we worked on this picture before, so you can see even this is a raindrop right here. So that picture looks good. I love it. So you can always see some effects. Let's check some portrait effects that you can do. See, this looks very, very, you know, some nice filters we have there. So you can always just use a preset, a portrait preset. It's a one-click edit, and that's all. Once you click it, it applies the effect straight up to the picture, and there you have that. So it helps to have presets when you have hundreds of pictures to edit. You can't start editing everything one after the other. So you just edit the lady you want to, and everything works well. So let's do a fit so we see our whole picture. So I like that picture, very nice, very lovely. So watch out for the next episode where we'll be working on other photos in this series. We have 7 pictures to edit in total, so we are just done with 2. So stay tuned for more. Just check the next video. Thank you. If it's not uploaded now, you'll definitely see it uploaded very soon. Thanks.